it spends a lot of time with a very small set of characters, but it's not a movie of big speeches, which is something else I kind of admire about it. So much of what's conveyed in the narrative, and sometimes things that are very important to the narrative, are left completely unspoken and are just kind of implied. We imply the connections between these things.
Yes. I mean, even one of the things I really liked about Mangold's last Wolverine movie, The Wolverine, and that I think carries over to this one, is how standalone this film is, how little connection it attempts to forge with the other X-Men movies. I mean, we're living in an age when both Marvel and DC are working overtime to create these giant shared worlds, these basically these endless crossovers. Keep watching because next summer there's another installment. This is a movie that does everything in its power to create as little. I mean, it's implied that it's in the same continuity as the other X-Men movies, but this is not a movie with a lot of winking callbacks. This is not a movie that makes room for cameos. There's no end credits stinger. I mean, this is a movie that wants to exist as its own entity. You know?
Well, I believe one has been I believe we ran a
No, I mean since then they've apparently they walked that back.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Supposedly.
Good. Because it was like
it does not need one.
Yeah, because it ended and it ends with a particular song that I think it earned.
And on a perfect note, a perfect shot, even I think.
Yes.
Yeah.
That sort of speaks to what its real values are.
Yes.
And this is a film where none of the X-Men characters, I believe, other characters are mentioned by name.
Right. No, they never mention them. Yeah.
And obviously it derives some poignance from if you are familiar with these characters, if you've seen these films. But at the same time, it's the kind of thing that I think works better than most other of these, of our cycle of comic book movies, works completely on its own. As in just being able to walk in. Because it spends so much time really building up the relationships between these characters, but also because it focuses on what are the essentials to this particular story.
Yes.
It doesn't need to tell you all the stuff about Professor X.
Well, beyond that, in the same way that Unforgiven, I think, works if you've ever seen a Western.
Yeah.
This can work if you know what comic book movies are.
Yeah.
Because it's acting as a deliberately sort of mournful counterpoint to those movies.